I've been coming to Striking Beauties since I was 12 years old. It was in 2021 and I'm 16 now, so I'm still doing it. Striking Beauties means like a lot to me. I love to box, it's my passion. I tell people all the time I can't live without my bags and a glove. It's definitely confidence boosting, but I have a lot of medical issues, so it definitely has helped me a lot with that, just coping with the stress of it.
So I've been coming to Striking Beauties for over 6 years now. Striking Beauties means a lot to me. I first started coming, I had a lifestyle change and I started working on myself, so it gave me confidence in myself and knowing how to defend myself. The women here are empowering, they're not catty, you know, we have a good group of women here that support each other, motivate each other.
I joined Striking Beauties about 1.5 years ago because as I was aging, I found that I was not as stable on my feet and I just wanted some more strength. I started out boxing here and then I joined the strength class and it's worked wonders for me.
Welcome to Sold on Local with Lori Seavey and Karen Shores of the Lori Seavey Realty team. Today we are thrilled to be here at Striking Beauties, located at 18 Church Street in North Attleboro.
Striking Beauties is one of the only women's boxing gyms in the nation. It's also a fitness gym and a community created by women for women. We are here to meet the owner and founder, Dina Paolino.
Dina, we are so excited to be here today. One, just to hear what you have to say about your business, but to let everybody else know exactly what Striking Beauties is all about. So my first question is just how did this business come about?
So it was probably about 30 years ago, 33 years ago. I had just gotten out of law school, I moved back to Rhode Island, and I needed something as a workout, but that could relieve stress. So I came across a boxing gym over on Federal Hill, and I mean, this is going back many years. At that time, there were no pretty boxing gyms. They were all like grungy guy gyms. And I went and I fell in love with it. And I continued boxing, so it's been over 30 years, but I could never get my friends to come with me. Because they were like, I'm not going to some sweaty hole in the wall like that. So I decided, okay, I'll just open up a pretty clean looking girls gym.
Right, right. Which I love how you've made this. You have the chandelier here. We got these couches. I love all of this.
Yes, quite an eclectic mix here.
Right, right. So it was just a way for women to even feel more comfortable.
Right. I mean, boxing, over the years, boxing has become more mainstream. There are many boxing gyms out there now, but women are still intimidated by walking into a boxing gym, or had been over the years. Right. So coming in here, it's pink and silver and pretty, so it kind of drops down the intimidation factor a little bit.
Right, exactly. So how did you come up with the name Striking Beauties?
Took days and days and days, and I think I looked up every synonym for a different word and coming up with something, and one day that was on my list and my oldest daughter said, that's it. I was like, yeah. She said, yeah. So I went, checked, and I could trademark it, and we took it.
Okay. Now, what's the biggest thing that you want women that come here, that you want them to take away?
Well, I want women to know that we're not just a boxing gym. Yes, I started it because I fell in love with boxing, but I want them to know that we're a women's gym.
Right.
We have a whole assortment of classes, and whatever you do here, you're going to feel empowered from it. And that's basically what boxing has done. Boxing just empowers you. It makes you more confident, and every girl that's been here, I mean, over the last 15 years, I've had letters, emails, girls come up to me all saying the same thing, that this gym has changed their lives. It's changed how they feel about themselves and the way that they carry themselves in the world.
Right, and you said you have a picture of your daughter at what, age 4?
She was age 4 when I opened, and she's in the picture just wrapping her hands up, and it's so cool. I still have her little boxing shoes and gloves over there.
Right.
Now she's a freshman in college.
Right, and talk about that, just wrapping up your hands, what that does.
So as you slip the wrap, the little loop there over your thumb and start going around, it's just a feeling comes over you, and you know that you're preparing yourself for punching, for a workout for punching, and you're going to smash something. And it's just something about that by the time your hands are both wrapped up, you just feel like a badass. You feel much more confident. And I always tell my girls, please try to wrap up before class while you're driving here. But then they're like, sometimes we get a little too aggressive while we're at it. And I'm like, okay, don't do that. But it really does. That's the first thing the first time you feel that empowerment is as you're wrapped up.
Yep. And you've had professional people train here. You've had people compete under the Striking Beauties name who have really actually competed, gotten in the ring and all of that. Yep. But you also want people to know that this is for everybody, all ages.
Right. We have members that started here when we had our little strikers class about 5 years old. Right now we have our strikers program. It's ages 8 to 12, and that runs every 6 weeks. We do that. And I think right now our oldest member is in her 70s. Okay. And we have a whole array of classes in addition to the boxing. There's kickboxing, there's boot camp, and one of the ones that now that I'm older, I appreciate the most is our weight training.
Right. And we're going to talk about that too, with the strength training, yes.
So for someone who's coming in for the first time, maybe has absolutely no experience with boxing, what does that look like?
That is the ideal person for us, the ideal customer, because we prefer that you don't have any experience because we want to teach you from start to finish. And there's a lot of parts in it. We're going to teach you as if you were going to fight. So I'll explain the whys in addition to the hows and all of that, because I want you to understand why your hands have to stay up and why your elbows stay in, things like that. So it sounds often when I'm doing my intro that I have girls look at me, they're like, I'm not really gonna fight. And I'm like, no, I know that. But if you understand the why behind it, then it'll make you more aware of keeping them up there or keeping your elbows in, things like that.
Right. And we're going to demonstrate that at the end.
I'd love for you to show me
You'll do
a little
great.
bit of an intro. Awesome. And so in addition, I know you kind of touched a little bit on the weight training, all the strength classes that you have. Tell us a little bit about the classes that you offer throughout the week.
Sure, so we offer, we have morning classes at 9 a.m. and actually Danielle Mackey teaches our morning classes. And we have evening classes 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 7 o'clock. Then every Saturday and every Sunday we have 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. classes. So we have kickboxing, we have strength training, we have boot camp, and a few different boxing types. We have our Boxing 101, which is our beginner class. Well, everyone starts with the intro. It's a 30-minute intro. It's strictly fundamentals, and we do that in the ring. Then the first class you'll take is Boxing 101. And so a lot of people even stay, even once they're no longer, the first or second class beginners, they just prefer staying in that class.
Right. Can I interrupt for 1 second? I want to say, talk about your strength training though, as you get older, why it's so important.
Strength training for women is so important. So for us to offer that class, it was crazy when we first started it. We always had it once a week. And then when our newest trainer came in, Lydia, she started, and it was so amazing. We went from Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, we added a 7 o'clock. Then they wanted a Thursday, so now we have Tuesday, Thursday, 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and then we also added the Sunday. And we have girls in there from, I'd say, maybe 15, 16, all the way up to in the 70s. And as we age, keeping our muscles strong is so important for our bone strength and our muscle strength. Posture, everything.
You're a walking poster of that, right there. You are the testament to that, seriously.
Next year would be my big 6-0. But
amazing.
well, I have a grandson that keeps me young and active too, so I chase him.
Right. Wow.
So I know you had mentioned you have a Little Strikers class. So what is the first age at which you really start training them in boxing?
So when we start the Little Strikers class, it's ages 5 to 7. Very young, and it's a short 45-minute class. They learn a little bit. We let them go on the bag. We teach them how to do it so they don't hurt themselves, and then it's all fun and games and tire them out for the parents. The next one up is our Strikers, and that's more of our juniors. So they're like ages 8 to 12. And again, we go through how you stand, your stance, your movement, and we incorporate kicking in that one as well. And still, because they're young, we end it with some kind of a fun game. And yeah, and then anyone older than 13, 14 can take the adult classes.
Right. And you have the Striking Beauty Training Camp. So what is that about?
So that's our signature class. When we first opened, we've always been heavily involved with pro boxers, either professional or amateur. And over the years, they're the ones who have taught our classes. And we want our members to get like a real authentic experience. And so my rule has always been that if you haven't been in a fight before, you really can't teach the class. And so most of our girls have now. And so the training camp, that's our signature class. Basically, it replicates a boxer's pre-fight workout training. And you'll start off with some jump rope, because jump rope is so important. We'll do a few rounds of jump rope, some shadow boxing, then we go on the bags, the heavy bags, and then we go to all of the specialty bags. Double end bag, slip bag, speed bag, all of those.
Okay. And then you also have offered self-defense classes, which I personally think as real estate agents, we're out there, you know, and there's times that we're like, I'd love to know how to defend myself. And so you offer those kind of classes.
Yep, we've offered, it's not so much a class, it's a workshop. It'll be on a weekend. And generally in the past when we've offered it, it's free. It's free to the community and whoever else wants to come. And Amber, who's one of our trainers, she teaches Muay Thai, and she would go out to Thailand every year to get more and more experience out there. So she teaches our self-defense workshop. She's incredible.
Yeah. Okay. And then you also have events too, like bridal parties you were saying can come in, and
we've had birthday parties here. As a matter of fact, we just had one. That's what the pink robe is. So we put the birthday girl in the robe. All of her friends had the gloves on. We did a photo shoot in the ring. And that's what we've done with younger kids too, little boys and little girls. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm thinking you had also something that had to do with like a Friday fight club.
So Friday night fights, people think that it's not a real fight. What we use this piece of equipment called impact wraps. And it's a wrap that goes around all of our heavy bags. And then from there, up on the board will be a leaderboard. So your fight name, everyone comes up with their fight name. Fight name would be up there, and there's a place where your score will show up. And the impact wraps, it's a formula made from the number of punches and the intensity. So as you're punching, you'll watch up there and you'll see your numbers going up and up. Right. So for the first 3 weeks of the month, it's just more of a training. So it's like a class, but we have fun. And then the last night, the last Friday of the month, we'll do the competition. And sometimes it's for a prize, sometimes it's for a nonprofit. It really depends.
Yeah, it's great. I love that you give back, and we want to talk more about that in a second, but also that you're a gym that you're open 24/7.
Yes.
So people can come whenever they want. Yeah. It's secure, they feel safe. So I love that it's also a gym where people can come.
Right, we have a whole strength room in the back. We have kettlebells, dumbbells, squat rack, and some machines, cardio machines as well. And we have a lock box outside, so only our members have that. We have cameras throughout, we have emergency buttons throughout. And I've been here since, well, we started building in 2008, so we've been here over 15 years. And we have the police right down the street, and they tend to use like our parking lot a lot if they need to park somewhere and go. So you feel safe knowing that they're always present. I remember when I first opened, I got a text one night or a call saying, your side window's open. I was like, that's so cool. You know, only in a small town would the police go and check your windows.
Right, exactly. So one of the things that I really loved when I was just talking to you the other day about what you do has to do with people that have Parkinson's. And I think it's amazing how you give back and how you empower people so I'd love for people to hear more about what you do there.
So the Parkinson's program is incredible. It's called Rock Steady Boxing. It originated out of a program in Indianapolis back in probably about 15, 16 years ago. And the gentleman who started it had Parkinson's. He was a young guy, noticed that when he would do mitt work, his symptoms would slow down or they'd subside. So long story short, they did a lot of research on this and found that the intensity of boxing, plus the mental component, right? Boxing, people don't realize it until you're until you're doing it, but there's a lot that you're thinking about. You know, you're thinking about, and you'll see when we get in the ring, you're gonna have to keep your knees bent, feet spread, feet apart, elbows in, hands up, chin down. There's a lot of little things that go to it. So that program incorporates boxing. So we're an affiliate, Rocksteady Boxing, Beauties and Beast is our name. There are a couple more in the New England area, but we're the first one from here. We've been here since 2015. And it's wonderful. And what we do is we break down the days. So like our Monday is, we call it Memory Monday. We do a lot of memory work. And the pattern's usually the same. They come, they stretch, they get talking, we do boxing, and then they'll do the memory games. Wednesday we do a music game, that's part of it. Friday is really dedicated to a lot of balance work and strength training. But boxing's always a component.
Right.
And Saturdays too. We do a lot of stuff outside.
Right.
In fact, we just had a fun day the other day where we had them in different groups. They were bowling, they were playing soccer, and one of our members who's in a wheelchair, she had the hockey stick, so I was zooming her around like that and almost lost her a couple times, but she was cracking up.
I'm sure she had a blast. I absolutely love it. I love what you do there. Thank you. Thank you for doing
They're
that.
wonderful. We try to give back to the community all the time. I'm always giving out gift certificates to the churches or any different event that's around, which is what led us to starting our Striking Beauties and Beast project, our nonprofit.
Yeah, right. It's amazing. Yeah, well, thank you so much for having the time and going through all of that with us. We've loved learning about your business. And I'm looking forward to learning how to box, getting my introduction.
Yep, and you realize it's not intimidating. Yeah. We're not intimidating here. It's really a wonderful community of a bunch of girls that are supportive and loving and fun and really funny. You'll laugh a lot. Okay, so we're going to start as if you've never boxed before.
Great, because I haven't.
Good, and we prefer people that have never done that, so we're not correcting any bad habits. Mm-hmm. I'm going to explain things to you as if you were going to fight. I know that you're not, but our theory is if you learn the whys behind it all, it'll make doing it that much easier. At least you'll keep in mind how important it is to keep your hands up or something like that.
Okay.
So the first thing we ask is, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay, so right-handed, that means that you're an orthodox boxer. If you were left-handed, you'd be a southpaw.
Okay.
So as an orthodox boxer, you're going to keep your power behind you. Well, either one you would, but as an orthodox, that means your right foot is going to be behind you.
Okay.
So how we start teaching your positioning and your stance is I want you to straddle that piece of tape. Mm-hmm. Now pivot both of your feet to the right about 1 o'clock. Take a big step back with your right foot. Yep, and you want each foot on one side of the tape. So your front toe and your back heel should line up.
Okay.
Okay. Your left shoulder, that's your eyes. Okay, so we stand sideways in boxing. We call it bladed. The reason we stand sideways is if I was sparring or fighting and I'm like this, then you have a lot of area to hit. Okay. But if I stay sideways, it makes it more difficult. Okay. So that's why we do everything, we stay sideways. Your left shoulder is going to be pointing in front. Your knees are going to be bent. Your back heel comes off the ground and put a little bit more weight to the back. Perfect, perfect. Arms up, elbows in, thumb reaching to your ring finger, protecting your face. You can kind of look over your palms, over your knuckles. Chin stays down, and that's your stance. Keep the back heel off. That's how you're always going to go to a bag, wherever you are. You stand that way. One of the most difficult parts is movement, footwork in boxing. And when we move forward or backwards, sounds common sense, but it gets tricky. If you're moving forward, your front foot moves forward. If you're moving back, your back foot does.
Okay.
If you're moving to the right, then your right foot is.
Okay.
If you're moving to the left, your left foot goes first.
Okay.
Okay. But because you're standing sideways, it often seems like that's straight.
Right.
Forward, but it's not. That's why your eyes are on your left shoulder.
Okay.
Okay, they're always focused on the bag or
where you're going.
Whatever it is you're going to hit, pads or something. And when you move forward, so you're going to move your front foot, you're going to kind of push off with that back foot, move that front foot, and bring the back foot in, but not together.
Okay.
Okay? and do it again. The one thing you want to do is look down, always make certain the back foot doesn't get behind you. Perfect.
Okay.
You want that front toe, back heel position. Now you're going to go backwards, so your back foot is going to move first. Same thing, don't bring the feet together. Perfect. All right, do one more. Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Now if you go to the right, and we said right foot goes first, so you're going to go right, left. Yep, and left is left, right. There you go. Just again, watch, because we never want our feet to get crossed.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's your boxing stance.
Okay.
That's how you always keep your wrist, keep this right up here by your face, look over, keep your hands in. Most important thing is to keep the chin down, hands up, yep, and back heel off the ground. Eventually you'll do more of a, kind of, I don't want to say hopping, but you're lighter on the balls of your feet, and you'll get used to that.
Okay.
And then you've got your 4 basic punches. Your jab, which is your front arm, so for orthodox, it's your left hand. Your cross is your right hand, that's your power punch.
Okay.
So if you threw your left hand out, I want you to pretend you're pointing, just kind of reach up and point, yep, and go right back to your face. Do it again, snap it out. Yep, so try not to turn the elbow out.
Okay.
How I just explain it to the kids in the kids class, you have a glass of water on your top of your knuckles. You want to dump it on my head, but you can't move your arm because you'll spill it. So once you reach me, then you dump it and come right back.
Okay.
All right, so come on, dump it, perfect, just like that. And then you come right back to your face, so that's your jab.
Okay.
Jab is your most important punch. It sets your range. You have all of your other combinations usually follow. And if you ever watch boxing, they use it constantly to put the opponent where they want them.
Okay.
But your power punch is what's behind you. So when you throw that, this is a tricky one, you're gonna have your right shoulder is gonna come in front, all right? And it's that weight, when you turn the hips and turn the legs, your whole body is coming behind that punch. That's why it's so powerful.
So I'm pivoting on that back foot.
So you're gonna go, yep, come right forward, perfect.
Okay.
Yep, come all the way out, good. So just screw that foot, kind of like you're killing a bug or putting out a cigarette. Okay. Right, and you're squishing, get that right hip up in front, perfect, and come right back to your face. Your jab is a 1, your cross is a 2, so hit my hands, 1, 2. Perfect, there you go. Then there's the hook and uppercut, which are a little bit trickier.
Okay.